Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here with my New Year's update video, letting you know everything that I've been up to since I last made one of these. Hey everyone, long time no see. I hope you had a very good Christmas and New Year. It's been a while since I made one of these videos, so I just wanted to pop on, give some updates, and talk about the little break that I've taken over the last little while. I really didn't make much in terms of videos or do streaming for December and January. Part of that was a little bit of burnout, and part of that was just being pretty busy with other things. So to start on my updates, one of the things that first sort of kicked off my break was a trip I took to Belize and Guatemala at the beginning of December, which was absolutely amazing. It was like one of the best trips I've ever been on. I did so many things, ate so much good food. In Guatemala, I did a lot of going to ruins. In Belize, I did a lot of caving and spelunking, which was a lot of fun. Also spent some time on a beautiful little island, just sipping on pineapple juice cocktails and sitting in the sun, going snorkeling, going on lots of boats. It was a really amazing time. If you're interested at all, I do have some pictures over on my Instagram, which is just cannot_be_tamed. If you want to see some of those. I honestly don't post there very much though. After that, there was Christmas, which was good, and then at the beginning of January, I went to MagFest, which, when I say I went to MagFest, that's only slightly true. I actually only ended up being at the convention for a few hours on the first day, sort of did a little lap of the vendor floor, did a lap of the arcade. I don't think I watched any panels, but it was very, very busy. And I got kind of overwhelmed by just the amount of people on the floor. And my friends and I rented a really nice house, just like a 15-minute drive from the convention center. And I ended up spending almost all my time there rather than at the actual convention, because for me it is more about seeing my friends than like panels or buying shit. So I had a really fun time there, even though I don't really have many pictures to share or stories about what happened at the actual convention, but it was a really good time too. In terms of content that I've actually been creating over the last couple months, I put out my best and worst of 2022. Check those out if you haven't seen them yet. Also, me and my friend Michelle recorded a few more episodes of our podcast, Point and Drink Adventure, which is always a lot of fun to record. She's also put out some little video clips over on that YouTube channel, which is just called Point and Drink Adventure. Mostly embarrassing things, like me failing to open a bottle of sparkling wine for like 5 minutes, and the two of us being too drunk or high to talk to the camera and just bursting into giggles. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, you can check it on that channel, and there will be more podcasts coming out soon. Also, though I haven't been making too many videos of my own, I have had little guest spots on some other videos in terms of just voiceovers that I did for videos. There was one video, it's on the death and rebirth of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines by Retro Histories, and I did all of the voiceover for all of the quotes used in that video. It's actually a really great video that gives not only sort of the development history of the game, but also how it made a comeback after it was initially kind of a flop. And the whole ending segment about the sort of rebirth of the game is really amazing, set to great music, and I really liked how the video came out. Another video I was on was by Pixeladay, who is a great YouTuber who I've shouted out here before, and she made a video about Utopia, specifically as it relates to Paradise Killer, which is one of my favorite games from the last few years, and I also did some voiceover in her video as well. I'll link them both in the description. And finally, I just wanted to give a bit of an update on sort of the direction or the future of my channel. I'm not going anywhere really. I'm not quitting YouTube, but I have really enjoyed this little break that I've taken over the last while. I've also been sort of just busy with other things, kind of having other competing priorities, and I think that while I'm going to keep making videos, I'm not going to make them at the rate as I have been for basically the last 8 years. I'm pretty sure my 8-year anniversary was in the middle of January. For that whole time, I've been making 3, mostly 4 videos every month, and that's just getting a little tiring for me. When I play something, or if I have a topic I really want to talk about and make a video about, I will do so, but I'm not going to be sort of pressuring myself to get out content once a week thinking like, oh, I haven't done a retro review, better get on that, or oh, I haven't done this, I'm gonna do that just for the sake of having content. I'm gonna try to focus on, what I'm actually interested in and the kind of content that it makes me happy and excited to make. That also sort of goes for Twitch. While I am back there now streaming adventure games, my schedule will be fairly variable in terms of when I actually stream and the kinds of games I'm streaming. But yeah, I just wanted to give that little update in case you're expecting me to go back to the 1 retro review a month and 1 list a month and 1 update a month. I'm just gonna kind of try to go with the flow a little bit more and just create what I am interested in creating. Now on to pickups. Even though it's been a few months since I've done this, I've only got a few things and I don't think I've showed these off before. The first game I picked up was Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I really liked Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Unfortunately, I haven't really played this much. I specifically got it to play on the airplane and while traveling during my trip in December, but I just hate handheld mode so much, and I put it on, I found I couldn't really give it the attention it needed, so all I played was Slay the Spire instead while I was on the airplane, so don't have a whole lot to say about this yet. I also picked up the new Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me, which is about a crew of people who are investigating or making a documentary on H.H. Holmes, and I did actually play through this, so I'll talk about it a little bit more in the next section. At MagFest, I picked up only a few things. The Fangamer booth was there, and I just love everything that Fangamer puts out. I actually really wanted to get more Hollow Knight pajama pants, just like a backup pair, but sadly they didn't have that. However, I did get a new vinyl. It is the Gods and Nightmares vinyl. It's from the Grim Troop DLC. Usually I don't like picture discs, but Fangamer makes good stuff, so these are still super high quality in terms of how they are to listen to. I also got a little Hornet pin, which I've already pinned to my backpack and I don't feel like taking off right now. And the other thing that they have a ton of on the vendor floor at MagFest is art. But I feel like my walls are pretty full. I've even got some pieces that I don't have space for, but I did find some art that I liked, and I got it in a vinyl slip mat rather than a print to put on my wall. I thought that was like a good compromise to still be able to get something that I actually have space for. I will have another Hollow Knight related pickup sort of soon, but I guess you'll see that in my next video. Or on Instagram. I'll probably post about it there as well. Just so you all know, I still do have a little friend here. Hi, little friend. Are you helping? Are you helping me record? Not really. Not really at all. Now on to the games I've been playing, and my last update I'm pretty sure was at the beginning of November, and I haven't finished too many games since then. I've played a fair amount of things, but mostly things that are still in progress. However, I do have some things. The first thing, I hope I haven't talked about this before, I don't think I have, but is Yakuza Like a Dragon. I really like the Yakuza series, and I loved this take on the JRPG. If you know me at all, you know I'm a little weary of sort of JRPG nonsense, but this takes all the sort of tropes and mechanics and just makes them so much more fun than most games in the genre. I really liked Ichiban as the new hero rather than Kazuma Kiryu, and although I like him too. And it's just a really fun game. I find the plot always, it's not the plot that I'm most concerned about, but the characters in these games and sort of how they build relationships together is always so fun. There's always so many cool little mini games and side stories. In fact, the side stories are probably my favorite part because they always are so ridiculous, but then they take this super earnest, heartfelt turn at the end. And yeah, Yakuza Like a Dragon, tons of fun. There were some difficulty spikes I found a little bit annoying, but overall, love the combat, the class system, the unique take on the genre, and if you like JRPGs at all, or RPGs in general, I definitely recommend it. It's a long one, but totally worth playing. Another game I played through and finished back in December was Pentiment, which is the newest game by Obsidian. It's sort of a narrative role-playing game. It is takes place in 16th century Bavaria, and it's a murder mystery, and I thought it was an absolutely fantastic game. I have a whole video specifically about the visual storytelling of the game, which you should check out if you haven't watched yet. It also made an appearance in my top games of 2022, so I'm not going to say too much else about it. You can check out those videos, but Pentiment was definitely one of my favorite games of the year. The last game I played and finished on stream is a pixelated point-and-click adventure called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, where you play basically a grave digger, although she doesn't like to be called that, and she's been contacted by someone in this small, remote town who there is a barrow, which is basically a burial mound that you can try to discover and you can delve into and see what's in there for historical purposes. But she arrives at the town and no one really likes strangers. The guy who contacted her is nowhere to be found, and so you just go around this creepy little town, try to figure out how you're gonna get your job done while everything is telling you that bad things are here and you should stop, but of course you don't stop. It was a very good game. The atmosphere was great. I really liked the music. Excellent voice acting. The puzzles, for the most part, made a lot of sense. There wasn't too many times that I got stumped by them, but I was playing it on stream, so Twitch chat was very helpful when I did get stumped. But it was a really good game, just like aesthetically, very, very lovely, a really good adventure game, and I recommend that as well. Signalis is one that I had been looking forward to since I first saw the trailer introduced a while back. It is a sort of PS1 style survival horror game. You play a replicant, replicant? Is that the word? Replicant. You're a robot and you're looking for your human buddy. You've crashed on this strange planet, and the whole thing has this very sort of dreamlike, surreal atmosphere. You come across other robots and they've all sort of lost their mind and they'll attack you on sight, and it just gets very into the survival thing. So you want to sneak around them as opposed to fight when you can, because you move slowly, aiming takes a little while to lock onto things, your ammo is very limited, also your inventory slots in general are very limited, and that's actually where most of the difficulty in the game came out, but I just thought it was great. I started playing it with a friend, just sort of passing the controller back and forth and having a good time with it. But yeah, the atmosphere is great. The map is fantastic. I was so happy to find a PS1 inspired game had a really fantastic map that made it easy to know where you were going and where you had already been. But it was a great one as well. It also makes an appearance in my top games of 2022 if you want to check that out. And then the last thing I finished was The Devil in Me, the newest of the Dark Pictures anthology games. I picked this up to play it with friends. I just sort of streamed my screen on Discord and played through it with a few people, sort of yelling responses or orders at me in terms of what I should do whenever I was presented with a choice. It is by the makers of Until Dawn and The Quarry, and it very much follows the same format that they've been doing for a long time. You're this documentary crew. Some people invite you to an island where they say H.H. Holmes had lived, possibly? I forget what exactly the specifics are there. But then, of course, bad things start happening. The house is maybe haunted, definitely trapped, and you all get split up, having to go your different ways, and you try to save as many people as possible. At least we were trying to save as many people as possible. You can try to get them killed if you want. I found that the story and the characters were all right. Like, I think it's better than, what was the first one? Man of Medan. That's still my least favorite. Like, I thought this one was, you know, still not quite at the same quality as like the big ones, Until Dawn and The Quarry, but for this anthology series was pretty decent. Of course, it was made better by just playing through it with friends and things, but it was a good one. If you like those sort of choose your own adventure types, I would still recommend it. I find, you know, even when they're of sort of subpar quality, I never regret playing any of these games. Like, I always have a good time, even if there's some, you know, plot holes or questionable characterizations. But overall, it was pretty good. So that is it for this update video. I hope you are all doing well. Leave me a comment, let me know if there's any cool games that you've played lately that you want to recommend to me, or any pickups that you got. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.